Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the North Shore 9 podcast presented by FanDuel. This is Bucko Brew. I'm Anthony DiNardo. That is Jim Rosati. This is powered by Fair Coffee and Tea. Happy Monday, Jim.
Happy Monday. How are you doing? Hope everybody out there survived the winter storm that came over the weekend.
For
I don't want
sure.
to hear anything about your weekend, DiNardo.
All right. That's fair.
I'm a little sore from shoveling snow yesterday, and I still haven't even finished my shoveling, so I still have work to do.
Since you don't want to hear anything, I guess I'll be muzzled and not talk about how it was 80 degrees yesterday. But no, I do feel for everyone, and I hope everyone's safe and all that good stuff. But it goes on. It's Monday. Bucko Brew's here. We are within 30 days of spring training, which is wild. Absolutely wild. And I can't wait. I'm excited. Bucko Fever is running its course.
Yeah, Pirates Fest was this weekend. So that's kind of like, I feel like Pirates Fest is like the beginning of spring. You know, it's kind of it kicks off the baseball season. It's a festival of Pirates fans just going out there having fun. I'm a little sad I didn't get to go this weekend. That storm kind of snowed me in. But it sounds like everyone who went had a great time. Tyler and Nathan were there representing North Shore 9. So they did a podcast live from Pirates Fest on Saturday. So they talk all about kind of everything that happened there. But yeah, it seemed like it was a more maybe positive Pirates Fest than from years past. Didn't seem like there was a ton of fan anger directed during the Q&A. And yeah, so hopefully everyone who was there had a good time, and spring's right around the corner. Pitchers and catchers report in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. I loved it. I mean, in true Tyler fashion, everything comes back to food. He opens up the show basically talking about chicken tenders. So I guess, I mean, at least, hey, the food was good. But you're right. It seemed as if, we weren't obviously there for either year, but I mean, last year sounded like it was bad. The fans there was a lot of angst. So the team chants started breaking out until they didn't. And, there was a lot of animosity. And this year it seemed as if the vibes were pretty positive and pretty good, even though it wasn't ideal, which again was unfortunate. I think like planning wise, I mean, Connor Griffin just got married. He goes on a honeymoon. Paul Skeens accepting his Cy Young award. I saw some in the comments go and say, "Oh, I guess Paul Skeens is too good." And I was like, "Well, actually, quite literally, he is just too good. He had to accept the Cy Young award, and that's why he wasn't there." And then, like you said, with Snowmageddon, it kept other people from showing up. But they did as best as they could. I mean, I guess Ryan O'Hearn was there via Zoom call, so Jake Mangum was actually there. Again, like it wasn't ideal because of the conditions and just stuff happening, but they made the best of it. And with the best of it, it seemed like it was like a really good turnout. And like you mentioned, with positive vibes. So yeah, Pirates Fest, that's a good way of looking at it. It's like, that kicks off spring, because then right after that is pitchers and catchers. Then it is actually spring training, and baseball is literally here.
Yeah, like I said, the pitchers and catchers are going to be reporting in 2 weeks. We're right there.
Love it. Love it. Screw Valentine's Day. Pitchers and catchers report day, baby. So let's go ahead and talk about the show. Because there was one big glaring hole at Pirates Fest. Now, we know people didn't show up because they were unable to, but there is a person who lives right there in the city where snow would not prevent him from coming. However, a contract would. And that is Andrew McCutchen. And I felt like maybe a little bit he was in his feelings that night, because then, like you mentioned, like it kicks off spring. Like it does mean something for people. And I'm sure as a player, especially of Andrew McCutchen, who, is very fond of the city. He came back because he likes it so much. Wants to be there and know. I mean, it's probably something like, know, hey, this is my last time here. And so far throughout his coming back, it's been like, I don't want to treat it my last year. I don't know if it's my last year. And I think it was that moment where it's like, you know how they joke and say, like, there's a moment where it was your last time playing with your friend and you never knew it, right? Or something like that,
Mhm.
like playing for or playing back, like whatever it was like that. There's a moment where that was your last time you ever did something and you never knew it. And it's like that was like his last Pirates Fest. Like this is your last Pirates Fest and you never even knew it. And now he wasn't even invited back because he's not part of the team. And it's like, oh man, I'm feeling it now. So
Yeah.
there's going to be a lot about Cutch. Should he be back in Pittsburgh and whatnot? Before we do get any further into that, tell you about the fair. So the fair is a family and employee and own operated business. They believe that coffee and tea are one of life's simplest and most accessible pleasures, and when enjoyed thoughtfully, can open your eyes to the here and now. They have 5 locations across the city of Pittsburgh, including their flagship in the heart of Pittsburgh's historic Strip District. Don't forget to stop by the fair's new location downtown on Penn Avenue, right across from the Benedum. Grab a cup and fuel up on your walk to PNC Park. Mobile ordering is available. Check out their Instagram for more details. And Jim, as always, where do you tell the people what can they find that 30% off?
Yeah. If you go to defair.coffee, DEFER.coffee, load up your cart, enter in promo code NS930, NS930. That will get you that'll get you 30% off your first order from DeFair Coffee and Tea. So yeah, check it out. Awesome coffee, awesome tea. They got a lot of other stuff as well. And yeah, DeFair.coffee.
Very much so. So yeah, Jim, that was kind of my take, my thoughts. I felt like Cutch, it was hitting him in the feels that, man, I wasn't there today. And that sucks because today could have been like this is my last ride. What did
Yeah,
you
so
think about that?
I mean, there's a few angles to this. So I mean, let's kind of set the stage. I've got the quotes here. So first off, Ben Cherington was asked, where's Andrew McCutchen at Pirates Fest, and this is the full quote, right? So he goes, part of the great thing about Pittsburgh, all of you baseball fans in Pittsburgh, is how strongly you feel about the people that have meant a ton to the team. He's had an incredible run in 2 different times with the Pirates. Certainly his legacy as a Pirate is secure, and everybody at the Pirates would desire to have him maintain a really good relationship with Andrew well into the future. And then we come back to our team. What is the job? The job is to build a team that gives us the best chance to be winning games when you're in the ballpark in June and July. And that's where I see that passion come out. That's ultimately what our job is and what we aim to do. So our approach this offseason has been laser focused on what gives us the best chance to win more baseball games in Pittsburgh than we have in the past seasons. That's going to continue to guide our decisions. So much respect for Andrew. That relationship is really important to us, and we'll continue to communicate with him directly as the team comes together. We have more work to do. So that was Ben Cherington's answer. And I don't really see anything that terrible about his answer. He's not he can't really speak directly to like how talks and negotiations are going with Andrew McCutchen. He doesn't close the door by any means here saying like, we're moving on. We're not going to sign Cutch. But then he also doesn't say like, bringing Andrew McCutchen back is a priority for us. He doesn't say that either. Like
Right.
he kind of dances around the answer saying, I respect Cutch. We're talking to him. We're going to continue to talk to him, but our goal is to win, and we're going to be more focused on winning than just strictly bringing Cutch back. So that was the quote.
Yeah. I'm with you. To hear it though, I will say, like, to hear that, it does make you feel like, oh boy, it's probably not happening. I'm not saying it's not going to. It's still, like you mentioned, it's still there. It still exists. There's an opportunity that Andrew McCutchen could come, but it's not as if like I felt like in years past, like you knew the deal was coming. We're focusing on other things first. It wasn't like that. It's just we're focused on winning. I don't know if Andrew McCutchen fits in that. So
Yeah.
hey, I don't know on that. And like back to the quote too. I'm also with you in the sense of like how he said it. I know he got hit by a few people. I'll say this. I mean, sure, you could probably nitpick of how he stated that, and I think that is nitpicking. And trust me, if anyone deserves to be nitpicked on how they say things or don't say things, it's Ben Cherington, this regime. You know, they've earned all of that. However, to be open and honest about this, speaking of open and honest, I felt like this is probably the most open this whole regime has been. And about like the discussion, like you said, like you can't really talk about things directly, like especially free agents and whatnot. But they didn't really dismiss too many questions or answer them with so much word salad that nothing happened. I mean, that's one thing that Ben Cherington has been so far this year is kind of direct and transparent to some level. Like, hey, we are going to do this. We have identified. We are not satisfied. Opposed to just well, we look to get better. So, I know he danced around this question a little bit. It wasn't too direct. And again, he's not going to be completely direct with a free agent per se. But I'm not hammering Ben Cherington the way he answered that question either. But it does leave you to believe that that relationship isn't as rosy as it once was, and that Ben Cherington's it doesn't look like it's much of a priority to get Andrew McCutchen in. If the chips fall, the chips fall.
Yeah, I mean, the answer was it was Ben talk, right? It was your typical. I wouldn't even say I was at that. This was word salad too. Like this is typical word salad. He's not even really telling you what you're doing. Our goal is to be our job is hold on. The job is to build a team that gives us the best chance to be winning games when you're in the ballpark in June and July. No, it's not. The job is to win the World Series. Like that's what the job is, and it's to go to the playoffs. Like I don't know. It was a typical Ben nonsense answer, but at the same time, like, what do you expect from him? Like, he's not going to give you anything. It's Pirates Fest. You're fans. This is Ben Cherington we're talking about. Like, he's not going to give you anything actual direct. But
Mhm.
anyways, like that's his quote, right? That's his quote. So like he doesn't close the door, doesn't leave it open. It's it's an answer that I would expect Ben Cherington to give. We've been around Ben for 6 years now. We know how he talks. We know how he operates. There was nothing said here that shocked me by any means.
Sure. Sure. But again, Andrew, like it's the end of January. He hasn't been signed. Now, the one thing too is we were very positive in all the stuff that has happened so far.
Yeah.
Again, to hammer what we've been saying, like for the moves they have made, we've welcomed them. They've been good. They're not done yet. Like we're not stamping the offseason as good. It's just what they have done has been positive, has been towards the correct direction. But here we are, right? The end of January, and there's no McCutchen. And let's go back to last year. We were discussing like should Andrew McCutchen return. I know I was on board. You're on board. The whole thought process, I think, was last year. Look at OPS. Andrew McCutchen was third on the team in OPS behind no one other than Spencer Horwitz and Brian Reynolds. He was the third highest OPS on the team. My thought is he's coming at $5 million or less. The money's good. He's Andrew McCutchen, but also he was the third best. The priority should be let's improve this team. Let's bring Cutch back and make him the third best hitter to like the seventh or eighth best hitter. And that's how you make this team good. And you're still within your financial constraints and whatnot. The thing is, they've been doing this, but at the expense of eating up positions that Cutch plays. And I didn't think like that would happen. Like third base makes sense, like upgrading different positions makes sense to get there and whatnot. It's like they've upgraded a lot of positions that Cutch would play. Of course, DH, but also like that, if he does play right field, like the right field with O'Hearn and Reynolds, like there's a lot of positional reasons that you can say like Cutch doesn't fit in here now. And that's something I didn't think that was going to happen. And at this point in time, like, again, I do agree that there's room for Andrew McCutchen, but it is limited. So, like, the thing is, I can see the opposing viewpoint of, does it make sense to bring Cutch back? And if you want to get better this year, the focus is on winning. Third base is a priority. You know, there's still maybe an outfield that's a priority, possibly catching. There's other things that you can do to upgrade, and that could lead you to miss out on signing Andrew McCutchen. So it's like I get that viewpoint right now because of what they have done, but there's no argument in my mind that Andrew McCutchen is going to be one of the best hitters, one of the best 12 to 13 hitters on this team next year, regardless of what you do. And I think that's just where we come from in this standpoint. Like, if Cutch is willing to say, I'll be on the team, find me 200 to 300 at bats, which I think he will, to come back the way he's tweeting.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason not to do this.
Well, that's because there is no reason not to do this. Like that's plain and simple. Like, the bench right now is, if you're not counting catcher, it's Nick York, Justinson Garcia, and Jack Sawinski. Nick York, who barely hit league average in AAA last year. Justinson Garcia, who the hell knows what he brings you. But anyways, he's 23 years old. He's got 9 major league plate appearances. He probably should be starting the season in AAA. And then Jack Sawinski, who, God love him, but I don't want to see Jack Sawinski on this team come opening day. So I agree with you in the fact that, like, the fit isn't perfect. It's not a perfect fit because, yeah, like, DH is kind of a logjam. Like, when Ryan O'Hearn isn't there, you probably want to give Brandon Lau some DH at bats. You need to give Brian Reynolds some DH at bats. There's guys that you need to kind of shuffle into that spot. The question comes, and McCutchen has addressed this already this offseason, last week, but you need someone to be a 4th outfielder. You need somebody to be a 5th outfielder too, actually. So you need a 4th and 5th outfielder here. You also need a right-handed hitter on this team because you've just loaded up on some lefties. If Andrew McCutchen can play outfield once or twice per week, which he's saying he can. Last week he came out and said, he can play outfield. The Pirates just didn't let him do it the last couple of years. But if he can do it, then there's really no reason at all. Like you mentioned, if he's willing to accept a limited role, which by all accounts seems like he is, if he's willing to accept that, there is room on this team. Like you said, he was the 3rd best hitter last year. If you sign him right now, he's probably the 6th or 7th best hitter on this team, which means like you did a decent job. Like you mentioned, the job this offseason was to make it so that Cutch isn't your 3rd best hitter. He wouldn't be the 3rd best hitter on this team. But guess what? He'd be a hell of a lot better than Nick York, Justinson Garcia, or Jack Sawinski at this point. And also, like, just a much higher floor than any of those guys. And, oh, yeah, he's Andrew McCutchen. He's the face of the franchise. He's the one really good position player that 2 generations of Pirates fans have ever even really seen throughout their life. There's a lot of reasons why this needs to happen. It's a shame that it didn't happen already, that like Andrew McCutchen wasn't at Pirates Fest. And the fact that we're now dealing with all this drama is messy. Like, it sucks. Fans don't want to see this. Fans don't want to see Andrew McCutchen on Twitter basically begging to come back.
Right.
I mean, that's essentially what's happening. We haven't gotten to that quote yet, but like this doesn't seem like a doesn't seem like a reunion that, if it happens, is going to be like a happy one. It's going to be more of a, all right, Cutch, I guess we'll bring you back. Like, that's sort of the position we're at right now, where it's either going to be, all right, Cutch, we'll bring you back, or
And then it's gonna be Cutch saying, "It's about damn time," like pissed off about the whole thing coming. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's not like, "Oh, thank you." So like, what
or
the F was your problem this whole time anyway?
or we could be heading towards a messy divorce here. Like, we
Yeah.
could be heading towards the Pirates do not bring Andrew McCutchen back. And then Cutch needs to make up his mind. All right, is my baseball career over? Do I stay home? I just had my fifth child. Do I stay home and that's it? Or do I give it one last ride somewhere else? Because there are teams out there who would pay for Andrew McCutchen's services. And if you say otherwise, I think you're wrong. There are
There are
teams
teams.
out there who would pay for Andrew McCutchen's services. The question now is, does Cutch want to go somewhere else? And I think clearly the answer to that is no. He wants to stay in Pittsburgh. He doesn't want to spend 180 days away from his family. So
Right.
it's going to
But
put him in a
also,
weird
not to
spot.
cut you off here, but also to add to that, but he also wants to play baseball. Like that's the hardship here. Yes, he wants to do both. He wants to do it in Pittsburgh. He wants to be in Pittsburgh, but at the same time, he does want to play baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he wants to play baseball and he wants to do it in Pittsburgh. That's it. Will he go somewhere else? I don't know. Someone asked here, do you think another team would sign Cutch? I think another team would sign Cutch. I don't know if Cutch would sign with another team.
Right.
So then it goes to Josh Roundtree of 93.7 The Fan. He quote tweets the answer from Ben Cherington at Pirates Fest. And Josh goes, Pirates fans got a 3-year Andrew McCutchen reunion tour. That's great, but the team never won more than 76 games. I respect what he's meant to this franchise and city, but he's 39, and at some point you have to look at different or better ways to win, even if it means moving on. Without really dissecting that quote, I mean, it's Josh. I think all fans are. If you and Josh isn't a fan, he's a host of 93.7, but I think fans are okay to have this opinion. Like, if it's your opinion that, hey, you know what, we had Cutch for 3 years, it didn't work, we need to move on. I can understand that opinion. I can respect that opinion. Like, yeah, I get it. He's not the Andrew McCutchen of old. He's certainly limited in his capabilities right now. Is he the best fit on this team? No. Are there better fits out there? Yeah. So I can understand getting to that viewpoint. Would you agree?
No, for sure. You're talking about both sides of the Nardo.
Yeah. Now, I understand the viewpoint. I disagree with it because, again, what's the bench look like right now? Nick York, Justinson Garcia, and Jack Sawinski.
Mhm.
Should they go out there and get a better fit than Andrew McCutchen? Yes. Yes, they should. And guess what? They can. They don't have to. This isn't an either or situation. Like, you don't have to pick. Do I go out there and get a good fit, or do I go out there and get Andrew McCutchen? You can do both.
Right.
I just listed 3 players who should not be on the opening day roster. In order to get those 3 players off the opening day roster, you need to acquire 3 more players. This isn't oh, well, if they sign Andrew McCutchen, then they can't get Mike Tauchman, or they can't go out there and get a third baseman like Eugenio Suarez. Well, guess what? They're probably not getting Suarez anyways,
What? What?
regardless.
Jim, what?
But like, this isn't an either or situation. Like, there's 3 spots. Like, they still need to add to this team to get to where they want to be. And there's room for Andrew McCutchen here. So that's Roundtree's response. And I think Andrew McCutchen didn't take kindly to that. Do we want to finally get to Andrew McCutchen's tweet.
Do you have enough breath to read it at this point?
You can tell he typed this out while not being very, very happy. It's just one big long, one big long paragraph. There's no spaces or anything. But yeah, I wonder, did the Cards do this to Wainwright, Pujols, and Yachty? Did the Dodgers do it to Kershaw? Tigers to Miggy? The list goes on and on. If this is my last year, it would have been nice to meet the fans one last time as a player. Talk to them about my appreciation for them over the years. Shake that little kid's hand or hug the fan that's been a fan since Clemente. You see, this is bigger than baseball, bigger than looking at a 40-man roster and cherry-picking numbers that fit your agenda or prove why your opinion matters. The fans deserved at the very least to get that opportunity. I don't know what the future holds for me at the present moment, but what I do know is that though I am 39 on the back end of my career, I still work every day to be better than I was the year before. If there wasn't a burning desire to continue this journey, I would be home surrounded by my family, in which no one will judge or be surprised. But not yet. There's more work to do, and I'm not done. No matter what label you try to stamp on me, rip the jersey off of me. You don't get to write my future. God does.
That last part, by the way. Man. Yeah. You can look at this in so many ways. Like should Cutch be saying this? Is this tarnishing things? There's a lot of ways you can look at that. And also, again, all fair. But as mentioned, this is the night of Pirates Fest, and he tweets this out. And that's why I say, again, I can't speak for him, obviously, but like just looking at this, I think it really hit him, like if I'm going to be back, you guys are doing it after Pirate. Like I couldn't even, like, you know what I mean? Like I couldn't even go to Pirate. Like if I'm coming back, you should have brought me back so I could be at Pirates Fest. Like, what were you doing, dummies? I should be there right now. If this is my last year with the Pirates, like I should be here right now. What are you waiting for? Now I missed out on this opportunity. Yeah, if you sign me next week, good. But like, why the hell did you do it beforehand? If I'm getting signed, why am I not signed? Why am I not there at Pirates Fest? This is my last opportunity to see everyone. This is the last opportunity for many people to see me. What are you doing, dummies? I think it really hit him. So
yeah, I think
he's crying in the club on a Saturday.
Yeah, I think what hit him is like, I mean, this is a member of the media basically saying, he got his reunion tour, when in reality he didn't, right? At no point did he ever say he was done. So like there was never this, at no point was Andrew McCutchen's career here in Pittsburgh ever really viewed as, this might be my last time seeing Cutch. I know like the very last game of the year, it was like, is this Cutch's last at bat? Is it like, it could be, but like, it was never announced, right? Like, and I think a player like Cutch, as a fan, I want to know. Like, I want to know when I'm seeing Andrew McCutchen's last at bat. I want to know when, hey, this is the last time I'm going to see my favorite player. Like,
right.
So that's kind of, I think that was my take from it, was he didn't get a reunion tour. Like, I mean, it was, he was out there trying to win and help this team. He can still do it, is what he's saying here. But at the same time, like he wants that reunion tour, or at the very least, he wants to give the fans that reunion tour, is kind of what I'm reading out of this. Now, you could look at this and say, hey, this is a bad look for Cutch. He's out there airing all of this laundry out on social media. And I mean, he's certainly escalating the situation, right? Like he didn't have to say anything here. It gets more people talking about it, though. It maybe puts some more pressure on the Pirates front office to say like, hey, like these fans are pretty upset about Andrew McCutchen not being here. And I don't think any team should operate with the mindset of like making the fans happy or upset. I think you need to go out there and do what's best for this team. But as I mentioned before, yeah, he's Andrew McCutchen. Yeah, I want to see him just because he's Andrew McCutchen. Jack Swinski, Nick York, Justinson Garcia. Those guys are still there. Also, like, injuries happen. Stuff happens. You need more than 3 outfielders on your team. You need more than 4 outfielders on your team. Donardo, do you know how many players played outfield for the Pirates in 2025?
Top of my head, I don't. I know there was 30 hitters for the Pittsburgh Pirates last year. 30 guys took it at bat last year. 30 people in the Pittsburgh. This Pittsburgh Pirates organization had 30 people within that organization with the second worst offense in all of baseball taken at bat last year. But no, Jim, I don't know how many played the outfield. Tell me.
13.
Okay. 13 people played the outfield
13
in this Pirates organization.
Played the outfield last year. You know who? I mean, let's take a peek at this depth chart right now. Like right now, if any outfielder gets injured, or I don't know, goes on paternity leave, goes on bereavement, whatever happens here, right?
Sorry, you said that and just bucko mic popped in my head, but
I know.
continue.
But like this depth chart, Billy Cook, Dominic Fletcher, Ronnie Simon. Those are your AAA outfielders right now. Do you want any of those guys taking in at bat over Andrew McCutchen?
At this point of today, no.
No,
No.
you don't. So it's like stuff happens throughout the course of a 162 game season. It's not like, oh, we don't have room for Andrew McCutchen because we have Jake Mangum, O'Neill Cruz, and Brian Reynolds. Well, you need 8 more guys, as last year apparently told us. And guess what? If Andrew McCutchen is there and he's able to play outfield once or twice a week, that's less time Billy Cook gets out there. That's less Ronnie Simon at bats that you have to see, everybody. That's less Dominic Fletcher at bats you've got to see. Because guess what? At some point, you're going to see those guys. It's just going to happen. It's a 162 game season. Alexander Canario last year got, 250 at bats for the Pirates?
It was on the team the entire year.
On the team the entire
once he got DFA'd
season.
from the Mets.
Yeah. So it's like there is room for Andrew McCutchen on this team, no matter what anyone says. Justinson Garcia probably needs to be in AAA anyways. Nick York needs to be in AAA. Jack Swinski needs to be in AAA. Like, these are guys who should be your 6th, 7th, 8th guys, not your 4th, 5th, 6th guys. So go out there and find some people, bump those guys off the depth chart. Oh, and guess what? There's a guy out there who your fans adore and he wants to play for you. Just go and sign him already. Like, stop this nonsense. It's nonsense. The fact that Andrew McCutchen isn't already here, the fact that he wasn't at Pirates Fest is an organizational failure by everyone involved, because this could have been an even better event than it was, because it seems like by all accounts it was a great event. What if they would have signed Andrew McCutchen the week before? He does a press conference. He goes, yeah, you know what? This is my last year. Let's go out there and let's win some baseball games. And then you have a Pirates Fest where everybody's going out there. They're celebrating the Pirates. They're celebrating Andrew McCutchen being back. And it's the last time that a lot of fans get to meet him in person. So, like, just do it already. You still have to add people to this team. You can't be done yet.
Right.
So just go and add Andrew McCutchen, and hell, play him in the outfield every once in a while. If this is his last year, run him into the ground. Like, whatever it takes.
He wants to be. He literally said that last year.
He wants to play outfield.
You should be running me into the ground. I want nothing left in my body when I'm done with this game.
Yeah, he wants to play outfield. And I also, let me add into this, he hasn't played a lot of it, but in the last 4 years, Andrew McCutchen has 7 defensive runs saved playing outfield, plus 7. Last year, in just 61 innings playing the outfield, positive 2 defensive runs saved. So, like, it's not like you put him out there and he's awful. We're not asking you to put him out there every day. Put him out there once or twice a week. If a couple singles drop here and there over 162 game seasons because you have to play Andrew McCutchen a couple times a week, that doesn't matter. Like, that doesn't matter. But he's also shown over the course of the last few years that, like, when you put him out there, he's not bad. There's nothing to suggest that he can't do it.
Right.
Just do it on a very limited basis. And again,
And
there's
like Fort
plenty
made
of room on this team for him.
And then say Fort made a really good point about him. Like put him in advantageous situations. Again, like right field at PNC Parks make a whole lot of sense. How you play him makes a whole lot of sense. Excuse me. But like I also want to add this. He's going to go from an everyday player to a person who's put in situations, most likely. Those situations being, oh, you're the ready that we need. Here's a left-handed hit pitcher. Versus lefties last year. Again, we talked about he was the third best OPS on the team with a 700. But however, versus lefties last year, he had a 743 OPS. Like he has hit lefties very well. He's a righty. So you're also looking at Andrew McCutchen, who's going to play towards his strengths, not just every day. So that's also why, like when you talk about Cutch, like he's probably going to be a 200 to 300 at bat guy, which means he's going to face probably lefties the majority of the time, which means you're probably not getting 700 OPS. Andrew McCutchen, you're probably getting a little bit better because he's facing lefties. That's why I go to as well. Like, understand this isn't every day Andrew McCutchen where he has to face righties where he had a 684 OPS against, and of course you face righties more than lefties. He's going to face predominantly lefties, I would imagine, if he comes in. Like that's your role. We'll find ways to get you in the lineup. It's going to be when there's a lefty up there the majority of the time, and versus lefties, 743 OPS. Nick York sniffing 743. There's Billy Cook sniffing 743. There's Jack Swinski sniffing 743, as you alluded to here. Probably not. So again, like you're also we're eliminating the talks of the situations Cutch will be in, which makes him better than last year because of that. So again, like that's what I want to go and point out too. You're telling me about a 743 OPS from last year, Andrew McCutchen? Is that not helping your team out?
Seems like it is.
So again, if you had 2026 version of Andrew McCutchen smack dab into 2025 because he's put in those situations, you're saying, well, Cutch had a 737 OPS, right? Instead of the 700.
Yeah.
So
I'll say this. Yeah, I'll say this. Like, he's certainly not the player that he was, too. Because, like, I mean, let's be honest. He was, he barely had over 700 OPS. Like, that's not great for a guy who's only going to be playing DH, right?
Sure.
Back to my point, though, it's like right now your options are pretty limited. There's plenty of spots here. I'm not like gonna paint Andrew McCutchen as this like savior, and
we're not.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I'm
not a savior.
But it's like, who would you rather have batting? Like late in the game, you need a pinch hitter, and they bring in a lefty reliever. Like, are you bringing in Andrew McCutchen or are you bringing in Nick York?
Right.
And
that's why I'm about to go in on MLB front office right now. And
like that's like those are your options right now. Like that's who you've got to deal with. Like, yeah, there were guys available. Like Rob Refsnyder was available. Guess what? He's not anymore.
Right.
So it's like you got to do something to make this team better. And Andrew McCutchen, if you sign him today, makes your team better right now.
Correct.
Now, does he make you a
thank you for
team?
Speaking in past tense.
Yeah.
There were things available. Guess what? They're not. Brent Cherington hasn't done anything since Ryan O'Hearn. What are your options right now? No one is saying Andrew McCutchen is a savior. So your comments about, we buy the World Series tickets because there's a 743 OPS platoon guy. He is not saving the Pittsburgh Pirates. Even with Andrew McCutchen back, you know what? Don't bring Andrew McCutchen back. Bring Marcell Ozuna over here. They're still not probably there. They're still probably not even getting into the playoffs at this point in time. Again, we're not trying to say Andrew McCutchen is saving the Pittsburgh Pirates. Please, Ben, please bring Andrew McCutchen back because he's going to save the Pittsburgh Pirates. No, but what we are saying is he's a depth piece that's better than what you have. And what's better than a lot of guys that are out there right now, because there were 800 guys. There were 900 OPS guys. There were this stuff. Who capitalized on that? Not Ben Cherington. Now, he has done good things. He did bring in Brandon Lau. He didn't bring in Jake Mangum. He didn't bring in Ryan O'Hearn. That's 3 guys. There's still plenty of people on this team that are worse than Andrew McCutchen. So we're not praising Andrew McCutchen for having a 743 OPS. We're saying Jack Swinski had a 560-something OPS last year. That's what you have right now. Got what you want? Sure, fine. Oh, he can play the outfield? Cool. He had a 560? I forget what it is. It was under 600. I think it was 567. I'm putting that out there.
Whatever it was awful.
That's what you have right now. What we're trying to say is keep building that floor up. Get Jack out of here being on this team. Get Nick York out of here from being on this team. You have a guy who was fine. Fine doesn't get you anywhere. I get that. But fine is much better than putrid and terrible. And what the hell are you doing on this baseball team? Give me more fine players and less of the trash. That's mean. But in general, like, that's where we're coming from. Why do I like Jake Mangum? Because he raises the floor on this team. Jake Mangum's not a superstar either. Jake Mangum is not leading us to the World Series, but Jake Mangum prevents Canarios on the team, prevents like you mentioned, those 13 outfielders, right? And he can play the positions well. Keep raising the floor so you're not a 71 win team again this year, not a 76 win team next year. You need some ceiling, and I get that. But this team needs a damn floor.
Yeah, if the Pirates had gone out there and signed Rob Refsnyder this offseason, this would be a more difficult argument to make.
You have an argument now. They didn't.
Because then it's like, you know what? There might not be room for Andrew McCutchen. But right now there is. Right now there is. And again, they've got to add 3 more position players. You can't go all off season saying that, our goal is to win the playoffs. Our goal is to go in the playoffs. Our goal is to win. This year's going to be different. You can't say all that and break camp with Jack Swinski.
Right. Correct. That's all we're trying to say here. There's still room for Andrew McCutchen because there's still a lot of really bad offensive players that are literally on this team as of today going into 2026. This is a year they're trying to compete and win. I understand the limitations Andrew McCutchen has, but who's your bench? What? Right.
The bench is rough right now. It's rough. If you look at the lineup, the way it's constructed, ideally, you're probably hoping to bump Gonzalez or Triolo out of there. Like, add one more bat into that lineup. But the bench is rough right now.
Yes, I agree. The playoff Reds last year. Again, you're playing to Cutch's strengths. I would imagine Cutch would have like a 730-ish OPS, as I mentioned. 730 would be the 9th best hitter for the Reds last year. All we're alluding to is the 9th best hitter on this team is not going to get you the World Series. But I'd much rather have a Tyler Stevenson on this team that's getting 200 or 300 at-bats than a Jack Sawinski.
Baseball Savant does their most similar players.
Oh, God. I'm going to let you I'll take it, Jim. I don't want to be involved in this one.
Do you know who Andrew McCutchen's most similar hitter was to him last season?
I do, because you posted that screenshot. That's why I'm going to let you have this.
It was Ryan O'Hearn. The most similar player to Ryan O'Hearn last year was Andrew McCutchen, and vice versa. So it's like, if that was your big free agent signing, was Ryan O'Hearn, and according to all metrics, the most similar player in Major League Baseball to Ryan O'Hearn is Andrew McCutchen, then like let's just make this happen already. Make it
Yeah.
happen already.
Again, I recognize he's 39 years old. I recognize he's not what he was, but he is still a player that can make the team better than what they are today. He wants to be here. I don't know how the money thing's going to work out, but most is going to be $5 million. And again, you can understand two things at once. You can understand baseball wise, he does make the team as of constructed today better. Andrew McCutchen on this team over Billy Cook, Nick York, Jack Swinski makes this team better because the guy that's going to get 200 to 300 at bats in that situation, Cutch is going to do a better job than those three at it. Baseball wise, makes a lot of sense. Business wise, you're making that money back. Whatever that it's a free contract. If you want to get Marcell Ozuna, that's money you're actually paying, and it's going to him. Bye-bye. You add Andrew McCutchen, you're recouping that money back plus some, especially if it's now dubbed his final year. Oh, baby, you're making that money back. You know what? Signing Andrew McCutchen maybe allows us to extend a little bit more to someone else because we're making that money back. Andrew McCutchen might help your payroll. Andrew McCutchen might allow Bob Mudding to say, you mean I get to market this now, Andrew McCutchen? Because here's the thing, too. Now, I do want to say this. I'm going to go back to one thing that you mentioned. Cutch has some fault in this also. And I'm not trying to say, oh, you did this wrong. I understand why he did it. Cutch has been very adamant that he's not labeling anything as last year. He don't know. What happens, happens. He doesn't want it to be a distraction. He wants to go out there to play every day. He doesn't want this to come over him and looming and knowing that it's his last year. Maybe he's not going to prepare as good as he once did. Maybe he's not going to, like he doesn't want that to change anything. He's never said it's his final year. He's never wanted that. So it's always been like, we don't know. I think Cutch is kind of playing his cards right now. I think part of it he's recognizing this is probably my last year, but I think he's also recognizing like, hey, this is the first time like they're maybe not going to bring me back. So again, him not having his final year is partly on him, partly. But what I'll say to this is now that he's kind of open about it, because it's kind of like his card to come in. Now that he's open about it, maybe there needs to be a talk with Bob. And again, business wise comes in is if you're doing this, is this your final year? Do we have that opportunity to market it? And again, I just say this because if that is the case, Andrew McCutchen turns into a bit of a cash cow.
Yeah, I don't know like how much of a cash cow he turns into. Like we're still talking about a fan base that typically doesn't turn out in droves.
I'm not talking he's going to bring in like millions and millions and 20 million, but I'm saying he's going to bring in whatever that contract is.
Whatever you're paying Andrew McCutchen, he's going to bring that money back. I agree with you.
He's a free player essentially.
Yeah, because you're not giving him a lot of money.
Right.
Hell, I mean, you don't have to give him the $5 million again. Give him $3 million. Hey, Cutch, here's $3 million to sit the bench, play a couple times a week, and you get to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
You're making that money back.
Right. Well, anything else?
I think that's it for today. Yeah, I mean, make sure if you want to get like the full thoughts and scope on Pirates Fest, check out that episode that Tyler and Nathan dropped on Saturday. It's really, really good. They did that on location there at the convention center. Some other stuff that we've got going on this week too. Yesterday, another trivia video dropped where it was you versus Doug. That was a lot of fun to watch. It was a really fun watch. If you haven't checked it out yet, do that. And then also last night we dropped our Easton Carmichael episode. I opened some 2025 Bowman draft cards with the Pirates' 3rd round pick, Easton Carmichael. So check that out if you haven't. And then what's coming out tomorrow is I did the same thing, but with 1st round pick Seth Hernandez. So Seth Hernandez joins the show. We ripped some baseball cards with them. It was a really good conversation. If you're a YouTube member, you already have access to it. If not, that'll be out tomorrow. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming this week.
For sure. Then, of course, and it's not live, followed up with The Point on Friday. I do just want to cap the show by saying this. And this is my biggest thing about the whole Cutch stuff. For the people that, he's been here for 3 years, they haven't won. Pirates failed him. Like, that's the problem in and of itself. Cutch came over here 3 years ago saying he saw something. This team can win. For 3 years, you had Cutch at your disposal. You had the return. And it was filled with the Ben specials. You failed Cutch for 3 years. Part of me, and this isn't the why you do things, but part of me does feel like you owe it to Cutch to actually, if you're finally putting something together, you also owe it to Cutch to have him on this team. He came here to do this. You failed him for 3 years. You put nothing but garbage around him. Now that you're actually improving the team, he should be on it to go to where he visioned of being when he came back 3 years ago. So do it. Make it right. Do it. But then also keep adding. You got to make this team better still. That's all. You failed Cutch. You failed him. Ben, Travis, Bob, Derek. All right. Now I'm done. Is you done or is you finished? I'm finished. We out of here?
Let's get out of here.
All right. We love you all, though. Even you, MLB front office. I love you.
No, it was a good show. I think this is a topic that is certainly, it gets people riled up. And like I said, I understand the folks who say like they need to go out there and get better players. And you know what? I don't disagree with you. Like they need better players than Andrew McCutchen, but it's like they need more than one player right now. And Andrew McCutchen makes this team better. You can go out there and get a few more players. Like getting one more player who's better than Cutch doesn't change the outcome of this team. I was on Fangraphs last night. There is currently one free agent hitter remaining that is projected to have a 2 WAR season or better. There's only one, and that's Eugenio Suarez. So it's like, no matter what you do right now, like there's no needle movers. There's none out there except unless you're getting Suarez. So go out there and get some players who make this team better. Andrew McCutchen is one of those guys.
Boom. Neither of us were finished. Now we are.
Now we're done.
All right. We love you guys. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.